Hey, let's just talk. I just want to talk about what I used to do for work. Man, okay, let's start back when I was in high school. So my first job was working for a grocery store. It was called Ingles. Ingles is, I don't know if it's just in the South, but I used to work at Ingles. I was a cashier, and the pay there was $8 an hour. I remember, and back then that was a lot of money. I mean, gas was like 98 cents and shit, and it was like $1.15 or something. It was really cheap. So $8 was a lot of freaking money. So I was like, yeah, no, on Sundays they would give you $1. So uh, it was just cool, man. And then I used to love working there. They had like a movie rental place in the Ingles, and then they had like a deli in the back where they cooked food and everything. And at night, if you got cool with the movie rental people or cool with the deli people, they would let you rent movies and out for a day, and you just bring it back the next day or whatever. Or they'll let you get the free food in the back. So being like very young, like 18 years old or 17 years old when I was working there, I was like, hell yeah, free food, free movie rentals, $8 an hour. I was like, yeah, weekly paychecks. When back then when you used to, well, they probably still do it now, I don't know. But they make you wait a week in the hole. So your first paycheck always takes like 2 weeks of work. And like, I remember when I got that job, I was like, how the hell am I gonna get to the job? Because I was like 2 weeks in the hole. So I had to walk to that job from my high school just to get to work, because I was like, I couldn't afford a taxi or anything or get on the bus. So I had to walk, like, it wasn't that far. It was like 3 miles. So I would just leave school and just walk there. Yeah, man. I remember my manager's name. My manager's name was Emilius. That bastard. That bastard was a cheap bastard. He was an Indian man, but he was really, really like, really up your ass. You know what I'm saying? And if you were like missing like 50 cents out your till, it was like a write up, unless you had money in your pocket. So I always used to carry like $5 just in case I fucked up on the cash register. I just give them the money. You know what I'm saying? But I just remember those 2 weeks in the hole. Then I quit that job because I had to go to a funeral, my grandmother's funeral. Quit that job because they didn't want me to leave and go out of town. I was like, fuck you, man, I gotta go to a funeral. So started working. Then I, like, back in the day, to get jobs, isn't like now. Like back in the day, you would just walk inside of a fast food restaurant, or you would walk inside of a grocery store, and basically they would interview you on the spot and pretty much give you your clothes to come back the next day. I mean, it was just like the hiring process was just real. Like, you just walk in. So I walked into Captain D's. I was looking for another job. Took the bus, went to this place called Northlake, and basically I was like, walked into Captain D's, and I was like, you guys are hiring? And then at that time they're like, hell yeah, we're hiring. They fucking sat me down in the chair. They're like, give us like 30 minutes. And then they sat me down in a chair. They interviewed me. They're just like, what's your availability? Blah, blah, blah. It was very simple. Filled it out. No drug test. Boom, I was working there the next day at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, how the hell did I get a job this fast? So worked there. Then I remember they wanted me to come in for Christmas Eve to work. And I was like, I'm not coming in for Christmas Eve because I was going to my cousin's house for the week. And he lived like 2 hours. I mean, maybe not 2 hours, but maybe like an hour away. And there was no bus to get there. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to make it. So like, if you don't make it, we're going to have to fire you. So I never came back to the job. Never came back. But let's move fast forward. Then we had like the economic collapse that happened. And I remember I was working this landscaping job back in, I guess it happened in 2007 or 8. I don't know. I was working. And basically they fired me from the job because the economy was bad. So they basically this is right when Obama first got in the office. It was really bad. It was like the greatest depression ever in the U.S. Gas was like $4 a gallon and shit at one point. It was crazy. Let me see here. So I was getting unemployment for like over like a year. Like there was no jobs, nobody was hiring, and they extended the unemployment. So I was getting paid like $400 a week on unemployment. And then I remember they started hiring again right after Obama got elected. It wasn't that long. It was like 6 months after he got elected. Um, I started working at Home Depot. Home Depot, man, I worked there for a minute. Man, that job had its high points and it definitely had its fucking low points. Let me tell you, man. It was like back then. It was like trying out for American Idol. The way they had it, where everybody like they hired a bunch of people for garden because it was springtime. So they had this big thing on the news like Home Depot's hiring. So I was like, oh shit, let me application. And I remember I had smoked some weed though. I remember I smoked some weed a couple of days before the drug test. I didn't think they were gonna call me. They had called me. They were like, Elijah, we need you to come in for orientation or something like that. So I was like, damn, I just smoked weed like 4 or 5 days ago. So, you get that panic. You start drinking a bunch of water. People telling you to drink apple cider vinegar and drinking that shit. Niacin pills and just doing a lot of cardio. You know what? And I did that test, the drug test, and I passed. I was like, what? I was like, all right. And I remember I almost didn't get the job because I went there and I don't know if I forgot my ID. I think I forgot my ID or some kind of important paperwork they needed. And there was like, well, you got like 40 minutes to get that paperwork and come back. And I lived like, I think he said an hour. And I lived like 20 minutes, 25 minutes from the place where they hired me. So I had to go all the way back to the house, grab that, whatever they needed, and come all the way back. And I had made it just in time. And they're like, all right, we need to go down and take a drug test. So then I had to drive all the way to the city to go take this. It was like a little clinic that they used called Contracepta or something like that. So I did the P test. And I was like, Lord, let me pass this shit. And then they called me. They were like, yeah, we're, what did they say? Oh, yeah, they were like, yeah, can you start this then such and such day? I think it was the weekend. And they start you out in the garden center. Let me tell you about the garden center, all right? It's not inside garden. You're outside garden. You're in the fucking heat. You're in the cold. You're in all the different climates out there and shit. It is fucking the most hardest part of Home Depot, all right? So they stick all the new hires either there or in cashier. Now, you don't want to be a cashier, ladies. I know they probably stick a lot of ladies in cashier if you're going to work at Home Depot. They will fucking keep you there. So, ladies, if you're going to do Home Depot, say garden. Because garden, you can just pretty much move anywhere, all right? But if you just get stuck in cashier and train in cashier, they will keep you there. They'll say, hey, you want to be a head cashier? And it's like, you're just stuck there. But I started out in garden, so basically in springtime, so man, I was loading topsoil. They started me out at $10.10 an hour. I'm loading bricks, like hundreds of bricks, fucking topsoil, walking out in the sun, watering plants in the hot ass sun, just balls sweating, ass sweating. You just smell like garbage when you leave that job. You just fucking, it's a workout all damn day. And if they catch you fucking snoozing or just trying to catch your breath, break a wind, here comes the ASMs, the managers and stuff, the department heads. They just don't like you sitting around. They'll just be like, you gotta do this, pack down that. Man, so I actually made it through the audition. I barely made it. Cool. Luckily, the supervisor of the garden, he really took to me for whatever reason. And I really wanted to keep the job or whatever. So I was like, all right, I was working my ass off. Man, I used to hate the pine straw trailer. Oh my God, don't get caught up in the pine straw trailer. You're just loading like 50 bales, 60 bales of pine straw. Just going to the back of the pine thing, coming to the front of it, loading it, then going walking back up the stairs and just doing that all damn day in the sun. Or you're out, they stick you out there where where they load the soil, and you're out there like for 3-4 hours, and you're just like, just loading people up. And these people are the most rudest people, they don't care. They just load my shit. They'd be bringing like little small cars and be like, can you load 20 things of topsoil, or can you stuff 6 bales of pine straw in my car? And like, pine straw bales are pretty damn big and they take up a lot of space, and you can't put that much in your car. And I remember they would try to put like topsoil and their car would be so low to the ground, and they'd be like, yeah, that's good. And they just, it was crazy out there. You had to learn how to drive a forklift. All this for $10.10. Forklift, reach truck, electric ladder. You had to learn safety protocol. If you weren't putting like gates up and shit, they could fire you for that. Like, it was so many ways you can get fired there. And then you had to deal with all the abuse from the managers and the ASMs. Like, they'll call you in the back office and just like fucking chew you out for no reason. And like, man, it was really bad. So I'm glad I made it through that though. Home Depot, I quit and I started working for landscaping again. And I was working as a supervisor for Buckhead Landscapes. So basically, I was getting paid good. I was driving the truck. I was in the AC. I was like, this is way better than Home Depot. At first, I was thinking that. But as the months went on, man, it just got hotter and hotter and hotter. And like, they wanted you to do these properties so damn fast, man. When you're in the landscaping business, man, they want you to do 13 houses, man, in fucking 8 hours, 8 or 10 hours. So you basically have to be at a house like 30 minutes, 40 minutes and knock that shit out. It was crazy. And then you get 30 minutes for lunch. But when you're driving to the place, it counts for your 30 minutes. So really only had like 15 minutes. So most people, what we would do is just stop to a gas station, basically the closest gas station, and just fucking eat gas station food or eat whatever restaurants were around the gas station. It was better than Home Depot. It paid more. I was getting paid like $20 an hour to be a supervisor. So I was like going from $10.10 to $20 an hour. I thought I was doing pretty well. 40 hours a week. I was like, man, I'm making good money. But it was a lot of hard work. And I was like, man, then I started coming on an idea. I was like, damn, man, these people they're paying us $20 or $60. How much are they charging these people to make this money? So I started thinking, I was like, damn, I need to start my own business. So I started investing. I went and got a Home Depot credit card. It was like a $900. No, it was $500 they gave me. So I bought the weed eater. I bought the edger. And then I bought the blower with my own money. And then I bought the lawnmower with my own money. And started fucking, oh yeah, then I went to Staples. And I made business cards. So Staples, you design your business cards at Staples, and then basically you pay them, it's like $20, and within an hour they have like as many business cards as you need. So I did like a 500 or something like that. And basically I got the 500 business cards, right? And on the weekends when I wasn't working at the job, I would just tape them to the side of people's mailboxes. You know what I'm saying? I would drive around in my car and just put them on mailboxes on the outside of mailboxes, because you can't put them on the inside of mailboxes because that's illegal. But if you have a tape and you stick on the outside, it's legal. So I did it, and I'd put about 150 of them bitches out, and I only had one call. I was like, damn, one call? Just one call. And it was this old lady, and she was like, you can do my yard? And then I was like, okay. So I went over there and I quoted her property. And at the time, I just didn't know what to really charge people. I just know I wanted to make more than what I was making per hour at my job. So I charged like $50. And she was like, okay, yeah. You know, this is before I knew anything about what to charge. And basically $50. So I was like, yeah, I paid for my business cards. She wants it done every 2 weeks. There's an extra $100 in my pocket on the weekend. I was like, yeah, good. That was good. $100 extra. So I went out and I would do it every weekend, and I would put so many out, and I would only get like one call back out, like 200 or whatever. But you know, it was worth it to me because I was like, one call would be another $50. So I had pretty much in like 2 months of doing it, I had got 4 clients. So what was that? Extra $400. So I was thinking I was doing good. Plus, I was doing the landscaping on the weekday. I was making good money. So pretty much, I worked there, worked there. Then I was like, then I got on Yelp. I got on this app. It's called Yelp. It's a search app. So I was like, I'm gonna make this into a company. So I was like, Elijah's Lawns was my lawn company. Put it on there. Basically, it was free to join. Man, that's when the traffic started really flowing into my business, and basically, I made good money doing that. And but landscaping is very hard work. It's not easy work, and the clients don't really appreciate you. It's kind of like they pretty much will use you for like a year or two, and then they'll let you go. Like there's a high turnover rate in landscaping as far as customers using and dumping companies. They tend to do it every like 1 to 2 or 3 years. They'll just switch out companies just to do it. So I just got tired of the grind trying to get these clients and going out there and going to their houses and surveying it and stuff. So I just kind of like stopped doing that. And then the corona hit not too far after that. And what happened? Oh yeah, then I started doing the whole DoorDash thing. I started doing that. Still having landscaping in my back pocket. I still had some properties and stuff that I had to do, but the DoorDash was very lucrative during the pandemic. I made hella money. Like it was like Instacart, DoorDash. I was making like what 15. No, I was making like $1,000 a week sometimes. Maybe sometimes like 700 on the low end. It was good money. So I was just doing that, and then kind of like okay. So let's get to how I started doing the tarot. So. Oh, back in the 90s, man, like I first started hearing about tarot in the 90s. There was this lady called Mrs. Cleo, and she would do the tarot cards back then, and it was like a big meme, or back then it was a big meme. Everybody was talking about it, like on Mad TV. What was it called? Was it MT? No, it was Mad TV, and then there was something else. There was a whole bunch. I think it was Mad TV, and what was the other one? Okay, anyway. And they had SNL and all this stuff back then too. So she would be like the big Cleo, the big call me now, 1-800. The people would call her and then get their. She was like the internet. She was like the internet. As big as the tarot is on the internet right now, she was the go-to. Like she was on the TV. Like back then there was no internet, so she was on TV, and then you just would call the number, and then they'll charge you per minute on the phone somehow to your house, and they'll bill you. So that's how I first heard about tarot. But growing up, I had this book. It was called Love Signs by Linda Goodman. Check that book out. It's a really, really good book. Very thick book. It was like, it told you about the signs, and then it told you about compatibilities between each sign. It was really good. It was really detailed. So check that book out. And that's when I first started getting into it a lot. I remember reading it a lot when I was younger, just getting into the signs and learning characteristics of each sign and everything. It was a pretty interesting book. So check it out. Linda Goodman, Love Signs. All right. And pretty much, and then kind of went away from astrology for a while, kind of got into sports and stuff, and started, got into music. I would play trumpet. From the age of 13 all the way to 15. So I was playing instruments and just doing other things. Michael Jackson was pretty big. I was thinking about no tarot. So I got reintroduced to tarot. I started, what happened? Oh yeah, I was on the internet, and I was like, let me look up tarot. For whatever reason, I just decided to do it. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't understand this stuff. And then I just kind of clicked off of it. And, but I always wanted to learn it, but it was like, I don't think I ever will learn this. It was so complicated to me. And pretty much I had a relationship, and pretty much it was like a 2.5 year, 3 year relationship, and broke up. And I started going on there about how to get over a breakup. I was doing all that stupid shit, all that dumb shit you do, when you're in a relationship. And then I just started going on tarot, and then it became like my therapy in a way. Like it was a way that I was able to, work through getting over somebody, I guess, in a way. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in contact with them, so. And but you know, and then it just comes to a time. It just comes to a time where you just have to just be like, you know what, I can't watch this anymore. I have to like really move on, and you know, I can't keep myself stuck, because it can keep you stuck. You know, tail can keep you stuck somewhere for a long time if you just can't accept something and just let it go. Then it can keep you stuck. So then you become a tarot addict, or a tarot addiction, which is pretty true. You know, it can definitely happen. So anyway, I went to this place in Atlanta, Georgia, called Phoenix and Dragon. It's a tarot bookshop, and they have crystals there. They have everything spiritual, incense, rocks, tarot cards, oracle cards, books on all kinds of shit. And they have these cats that are in there. There's these fat cats that walk around. Very, very, very nice place. And then I got my Easy Learning tarot deck, which was these right here. And basically, I would just do tarot cards for my friends. I'll do tarot cards for me. I'll do tarot cards on, you know, just different things, and see if I was any good at it. And people would be like, "Yo, that's real. That's true. That's kind of true." Da, 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 da. And then I was like, "All right, well, maybe I'm good. Maybe I'm not." You know. And I remember sitting on the idea of doing tarot for like over a year and a half. Like, I was just didn't think I was good enough. I was like, "Am I gonna be good enough to entertain people doing this shit?" And you know, then I was on there watching the tarot channels, and they were getting different interpretations than I were getting. And then I realized that, you know what, everybody interprets these motherfuckers a different way. And you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. You know, I was just trying to, like, every chance I got, I was just doing tarot readings on people, and just you know, people would be like, "Oh, that's true, that reminds me of this, down to that." So it just, you know, you got to keep that practice. And then you're like, okay, how can I turn this into a story? And then storytelling is a part of tarot. If you're just saying, "Oh, well, this is this, or this is that," you know what I'm saying? If you're not like a story, you got to be better. You got to get your storytelling in par. And that was the thing too. Like, you know, you're gonna be very nervous because telling a story in front of a bunch of people and you're not used to doing it, it's very hard. I remember my first tarot readings, though, when I did start this channel, were like 4 minutes long, and I felt like that was a long time. But it was for someone who hasn't done it before. So if you're doing it and all you can pump out is 3 to 4 minutes for your readings, do it, man. You know what I mean? And work through your nervousness. It's something that everybody goes through. If you see the beginning of my videos, if you go back to the past and watch them, you will see how I've progressed from there to here, and how I talk to the camera, how I do things with the camera. So it's just something you just have to just do, you know what I'm saying? And you have to, like, keep those videos up, you know. It's great memorabilia. It shows people too, if they want to do the same thing, that, you know, hey, you're not going to be perfect, you know. So everybody, you know, if you're trying to think about doing a tarot channel, I would say do it. You know, it definitely changed my life. I started about 7 months ago, and I'm here right now. I got 24,000 subscribers and over 1.5 million views. And you know, my videos do pretty well for the most part. So I'll just say, guys, step out on faith. If you have an idea or have something you need to do, man, or you have something that because for a long time I doubted myself doing this. I really doubted myself if I was gonna be able to be successful at this. So I would say, if you get into this business, in the YouTube business, it's a marathon. It's not something you're going to get instant gratification. So if you don't see the views at first, it's okay. It's something you have to keep grinding. It's like every day, grind. It's not a job where you just do one video. I mean, some people are lucky like that because maybe they got the plug, maybe they got a shout out. But my channel is self-made. I didn't need anybody to shout me out. I didn't need anybody to promote my channel. I didn't need anybody for shit. So, you know, as far as other YouTubers promoting my channel, you know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of YouTubers out here, they got bigger because somebody shouted them out, or they're up another tarot reader's ass and they're trying to get them to collaborate with them. I don't know. But it's self-made. And I'm just saying, guys, if you're passionate about something and you want to go after it, and do it your way. You know, do it your way. You know, see me, I do tarot, I'm acting, and I'm doing rote sounds, and I'm doing all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what? That's that one song, I think by Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. I think that's a great song, you know what I'm saying? When you do it your way, you know? And I thank everybody who watches me. I really thank you guys for the support and the love on this channel, and I really appreciate it, guys. I'm out. Gotta go to the gym. Thank you guys so much for everything.